Is it possible you can make a video explaining the healthiest still and sparkling waters in the UK and the ones that I like the best? Oh, what a brilliant question. Thank you. Right, so this isn't going to be a 2-minute video. This is going to take a little bit longer. And I'm going to explain in detail because I find it absolutely fascinating. And obviously you're finding it interesting. So let's invest the time together so that you understand what's going on. The premium water that you can buy in the United Kingdom is natural mineral or spring water. And if you use any of those 3 words, natural, mineral or spring, you now fall under local environmental health department trading standards and regulations for natural, mineral or spring water, depending on which ones you use. The difference between natural, mineral and spring is a technicality, it's marketing, it's nothing to get bogged down on. They are both naturally occurring water, and it's naturally occurring waters that are the premium of the category, and they are all different, and that's what makes this so interesting and so brilliant, because they're different. And it's not just water's water, they're all the same. No, they're all different, unless they don't say natural, mineral, spring water. Read the labels on the waters that don't say natural, mineral or spring water, and you'll see that these waters are highly processed water that's been vapor distilled, all the minerals. I call them Frankenstein waters as opposed to natural waters. And the Frankenstein waters, you won't find the word natural, mineral or spring on them. You will find purified or vapor distilled, words like that, and that means it's processed water. Right, now back to the world of natural water being the premium of the category. It's all about the geology. That's what it comes down to. So in the world of wine, we have a thing called terroir. You can get 2 identical grapevines growing in different fields, right? So it's the same vine, but they're growing in different fields, and they will yield a different flavour of wine due to the minerals in the soil that the root picked up. And that impacts the flavour of the wine. That's called terroir. Now in the world of water, we also have terroir, and that's what makes it so beautiful. So as the water, as natural water as it rains, the rainwater soaks into the land. The land, depending on the level of geology, will impact the water with the TDS, the minerals. So the TDS is the measurement of minerals. So how many minerals are in the water? So 0 TDS is distilled water, and that would be so basically super low waters are almost naturally occurring distilled water. So as an example, rainwater, iceberg water, glacial waters, waters that haven't travelled through geology, haven't picked up minerals, and therefore they're almost naturally occurring distilled water. So in the world of natural water, we categorise those waters as super low category, and that's 0 TDS up to 50 TDS. And in my opinion, and it's completely subjective by the way, that's my least favourite category of natural water. And the reason is, as an example, Voss at 40 TDS 40 leaves your mouth feeling like the Sahara. Yeah, there's nothing left. It strips because there's not enough minerals in the water. By the way, minerals are electrolytes, but because of these super low TDS waters, there's hardly any minerals in them. They're not adding anything to your body. So the water is corrosive, and as it's in your mouth, it's stripping the lining of your mouth on its journey, and it takes it with it on its journey through your body, which is why Voss have now come out with Voss Plus. Yeah? That's why they've done it, because they realised that 40 TDS, it doesn't leave your mouth feeling nice. The water isn't particularly got a nice mouthfeel or taste. It's almost like metallic, sharp. I call it rusty nail flavour, super low TDS. That's just my opinion, subjective. Don't get cross or angry. Right, the next category is the low category. So from 50 TDS up to 200 TDS. And where are you going to find TDS? I'll show you. This is my can. This is my brand. So just below pH there, you've got TDS, 120. How do they measure the TDS, by the way? They take a litre of the water, they vapor distill, sorry they don't, they evaporate it, and then the white powder left at the end is the measurement of minerals. So 50 TDS to 200 is the low category, and in my opinion, right, by the way, no one is healthier than the other. Let's just put that to one side. In the world of natural mineral spring water, it's subjective. It's down to which one you love, which one you fall in love with. That's your best water. So 50 TDS to 200 is the low category, and in my opinion, that is the best category, subjectively in my opinion, because it's water with no taste. Beautiful mouthfeel. So the mouthfeel, they're all different as well. So I've picked up waters at 150 TDS that leave your mouth feeling dry. So it's not guaranteed, because it all depends on how the main minerals sodium, magnesium and calcium interact, and because they're all natural, they're all different, they interact at different levels. So if you get a water that's incredibly high in calcium, it will be sweet. If you get a water that's high in magnesium, it will be bitter. And if you get a water that's high in sodium, it will be salty. And that's why this is so beautiful. Then depending on how they interact, those three minerals, you get completely different sensations and flavours and tastes of water. And that's why, in my opinion, the low category, 50 to 200 TDS, in my opinion, subjectively, is my favourite. Right, the next category is the medium category. That's 200 up to 500 TDS. Give us some examples, Beardy. Give us some examples. 292 TDS. All right, Ursu, Cristiano Ronaldo, Buxton, 300 TDS. I got that right, 300 TDS. 300, doesn't even get bogged down. About 300 TDS. Now, at this point, you start tasting water. And it's delicate, and we need to retrain our brains on how we taste water, because we've been conditioned to taste salty, chilly, sweet, extreme flavours. That's what we've been conditioned to be addicted to, really. And now when it comes to delicate, we've just lost, we don't know how to taste delicate anymore, and that's what I do. I train you how to taste delicate, because I've got a delicate beardy sommelier gob. So basically now, 200 to 500 is the medium category. And there we start tasting water. And where you're going to taste it, there's a few things you've got to do here. Number one, it has to be at room temperature, because if you chill it, you won't taste it. All you're going to get is the overriding temperature shock between the water at 5 degrees, you gob at 37 degrees, 32 degrees Celsius shock difference. So chilling water kills water. You want to drink it at room temperature. And where you're going to taste this water now is going to be in the sides and the back of your tongue. And it's going to taste a little bit earthy. It's going to taste a little bit minerally, and you might not like it, by the way. And some of these waters, as we go up in TDS, get stronger and stronger. But I've just noticed, looks like my beard's green. Why have I got a green beard? Anyway, I haven't got a green beard. It's just the filter that I've put on. Looks like I've got a green beard. Very strange. Right, the next category is 500 to 1200, and that is the high category of water. Show us a high category water, Beardy. Right, hang on. Oh, put me on the spot. Where's a high category? Right, high category. Velamo, high category, 500 plus TDS. Solana de Cabras, if you go to Spain, high TDS water. And now here, again, if you chill it, you won't even notice it. But if you drink them at room temperature, you will notice it. And now all I can see is my blue beard, which is very strange. But you will notice them at room temperature. And you can't really not notice it, because at this point now, in the high category of water, it tastes, and sometimes it can taste strong. Vitel's another one. People see Vitel. I should have got some bottles ready. What is wrong with me? Contrex. Contrex is actually super high TDS. We'll come to that in a minute. That's 2000 TDS. But I should have got, there we go, Mozhnyanka. They're high category waters. So up to 1200, that's your high category. Now 1200 plus is super high. And super high, in my opinion, is where water gets nuts. Contrex 2000, I don't particularly like Contrex. It's got a really strong taste. It has a really strong flavour. We have Bajormi, we have Vichy Catalan, we have Vichy Celestine. Now these three waters I've got in my hand here, I've got so many minerals in them. They're basically naturally occurring energy drinks, and these waters are carbonated naturally by Mother Nature. Right? There's that much geology in the land that there's CO2 in there. So as the waters are filtering and passing through the geology, they're getting carbonated at the same time. Can you imagine being a shepherd hundreds of years ago, roaming the land with your goats and your little stick, you know, sitting there, enjoying the sun, and then you see a water source and you bend down and you drink it, and it's sparkling water coming out of the ground? And when I found that out, that's when water to me really, really made sense, because to me that's just nuts. That's magical. And that's what this is about. Water is magical. And that's why I'm here sharing it with you when you fall in love with it. But you need to understand water before you fall in love with it. You need to learn, because otherwise we get manipulated by the idiots. You know, the Frankenstein waters. And you're never falling in love with them. And this is the other thing with your tap. You're never falling in love with your tap either. You might learn to drink it and you might learn to tolerate it, but you're not falling in love with it. The world of natural water, you fall in love with it. And which one's the best? Sorry, that was your question 15 minutes ago. The one you love the best is the best. So let's swap the word natural water for cheddar. I love vintage, you love mild, we both love cheddar. It's about finding the water, the cheddar that you love. And that's why this is exciting. That's what this is all about. And that's why I love it. And that's why I can stand it every day, doing 4 or 5 videos every day, year in, year out, day in, day out, because I flipping love it. And when you discover it, guess what? You'll fall in love with it, because we've all been dumbed down. We've been dumbed down to not give the most important liquid on the planet any consideration. I'm here to change that. And you're noticing and you're loving it. And when you learn and you love it, it changes your life, because then you realise you're not even hungry. You're thirsty, but you're thirsty for the right stuff, the best stuff, the premium of the category. And while we're here, sorry, you've got me on a roll now. While we're here, I need to tell you about Shuttledon 1650. Again, it looks green. Strange. It's not green, it's yellow and brown. But what we've got here is a water that's been bottled in France since 1650. And since 1650, it's been shipped all over Europe with business leaders, the Vatican, and Louis XIV, and all these monarchs and important people drinking the finest waters. Now, before 1650, this is where I think it's really interesting, it's documented that Roman soldiers would fill their vessels up on the way to battle because they knew that the 1300 TDS water gave them crazy power and energy, because they realised that minerals are electrolytes, and where we're going buying sports drinks with added electrolytes, water's already got the answer. That's why this is so amazing and so incredible, and the elites have known about this for hundreds of years, but us working class peasants have just been dumbed down to think the water that smells and tastes of chlorine is normal. Normal my backside. No, it ain't normal. Anyway, that's why I'm here. That's what I do this for. My favourite, personally, I can't. It's my brand, isn't it? Crag. I love Crag. I live here on site. I've put my life into it. And we're the biggest reusers of glass bottles in England. Cans are on TikTok Shop. But I'm not saying Crag is any better than anybody else's water. No, it's completely subjective. However, we are the most awarded water in the history of the Fine Water Society in Britain. That is a fact. But that, again, is subjective, but that's judged by judges, water sommeliers. So, again, water is not water, and that's what I do it for, and that's a brilliant question. So thank you for asking it, and thank you for watching, and thank you, everybody, for paying attention, because, in my opinion, there is nothing more important than understanding and appreciating the liquid that we are made of. Dodger.